punk there. That's where people have their hair, you know, cropped back and cut and dyed, and they live a really outrageous life.
Why do you think they do that?
Why? I don't know, to attract attention.
Don't like it.
Why? Can you tell me why?
Well, I would say it's offensive.
Oh, stupid. Oh, I don't understand much.
You don't understand it?
Oh, punk is, in my opinion, sort of just fairy sort of music. Hairy's, you know, no, not much sense to it.
Punk is punk is punk.
Oh, yeah, they had a program on TV here, I think on 60 Minutes, and they kind of went into their den and they showed you a bit more, you know. They were charging people to be photographed with them and things like that. I don't know if you've seen that yourself, but that's, you know, about it.
Punk. Horrible.
Why do you say it's horrible?
I don't like the attire, I don't like the hair.
Do you think there's anything more to the way they dress than just a fashion?
Oh, no, I think it's just another sort of a thing generations go through.
Punk is, I don't know, I came from Wodonga. We have got other rubbish like this.
You seem to think it's rubbish.
It's a time for the young people, so I don't know. I don't blame them, you know, when I see an idiot got white hairs, lilas on this side, you know, and all that look like the idiots.
Punk? Oh, I've got no idea, I don't think. Punk? No idea.
Way out?
Punk. Pretty confusing, I think. Well, I don't have an opinion actually, but I imagine it's pretty loud, way out type entertainment that young people, you know, get up to.
P-U-N-K. Is it?
Yep.
Oh, just rubbish, isn't it?
define punk in that sense?
Well, it's an attitude to living.
Punk to me means trying to sort of, you know, get rid of all the restrictions that you've been brought up with, like, you know, how you judge people by what they look like and things like that, and plus also trying to find an alternative to what there is already existing in the society.
I think mostly people are out to have a good time and, you know, not be worried about being people saying, you know, you can't do this and you can't do that. I mean, I don't think image has got all that much to do with it, really. I mean, it's what you believe yourself that's most important.
Yeah, everybody just wants to be free to get into what they want without any hassles.
What do you say to people who say that all punk is a fashion?
Well, I think they should look deeper into the issue than that. Sure, you know, like some people do have Mohicans and studded leather jackets and Doc Martens and that, but it's what's in your head, not what you wear. That's what's important, you know.
It's a lifestyle.
It's not to us. It might be to a lot of other people. It's just a fashion for a while, and then they might get sick of getting yelled at and, you know, harassed by people, and so they'll change their image to fit in with everybody else. But that's not what, you know.
But you don't have to look like us if you want to be into punk. Like, you're into punk, you know, but you haven't got coloured hair or anything. It doesn't matter what you look like at all.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But do you think the person who walks down the street, and I mean I've seen it happen so many times that a punk will walk down the street, you're walking some few steps behind and you just see people turn around and laugh.
That happens every day of our lives.
Do you think that'll ever change?
No, because whatever you're into, there's always going to be narrow-minded people that, you know.
That's true.
They just aren't into it, or they can't even. They don't even take the time to stop and look and sort of think, oh yeah, you know, what are they on about? There's always narrow-minded people that are just going to judge
people
you straight away.
People are just too scared of anything that's different from the norm, you know. They just can't handle it and won't take the time to try and speak to us and find out what we're like, you know. They just immediately assume that we're illiterate idiots, you know, because they've got too many ideas from, say, you know, the Sex Pistols and vomiting and all that sort of shit. But we're not like that, you know. But most people just wouldn't even take the trouble to try and find out what we are like or what our... You know.
You're surely, looking the way you are, aren't you bringing that sort of harassment onto yourself?
We would from the narrow-minded, you know, the real pigs, the real shithead people, but I think it's more important to try and show the other people who are receptive and want to know about us, to show them that we can go around and look like this and still be normal, intelligent people. And I think it's worth more to do that. And of course we're going to get flack from someone, because there's always dickheads out there that are going to yell at someone for something, no matter what you look like, you know. I'm sure there's hippies that get called poofters and almost bashed up all the time by guys. I'm sure there's you know, really, like blatant gay guys who walk around, you know, looking very feminine and that. They must get, you know, harassed and almost bashed up by people all the time too. You know, it's not just us.
1, 2, 3.
you go into the city and, you know, you see a few punk rockers, and these days people don't really turn their heads as much as they might have done a few years ago. I think it's, well, these days sometimes it's hard to tell who's a punk and who's not a punk, because punk is, you know, what's up in your head and what you think. It shouldn't be a fashion, really. And you might see some really trendy looking person with colours in their hair, and some old granny in the street might think, oh, they're a punk rocker, but then you might see some really straight looking guy walking down the street and he might have every punk record in the world.
Do you think it's becoming more accepted?
Oh, yeah. Like if I had to walk down the street with green hair like this 4 or 5 years ago, I would have got a lot more flack and a lot more hostility from people than what I would now.
So do you think in that sense that punk has achieved something?
Yeah, I think so. Something, but still not enough.
Your peace of mind is your own peace of mind.
Achieved a lot in the sense that there's an international network of people communicating with each other via, you know, not big record labels and things like that. Like
what it's turned into more of a,
I'm gonna come up,
let's say, a sense of awareness. Like a lot of people are actually thinking about what's going on in the world and that, and people are coming up with more, I'd say, like more positive. Like the lyrics are rebelling against what they see bad in this world, and there's a lot of things that are bad, and that's why I think that bands such as us and bands in other countries and that exist. You know, because I don't know, as a form of rebellion and as a form of change too.
It's achieved people being more aware of political issues and things that are going on in the world.
But is that necessarily good?
Yeah, it's good. It's better than people just being mindless and doing what their government or what society tells them to do, instead of thinking for themselves.
It's good that it is good that they know, but then again, is that knowledge telling them to do anything?
Yeah, I think it's opened a lot of people's eyes to problems in the world. I think the 77 punk, it was good for its time, but looking back on it now, I don't think lyrically it achieved that much, because in 77 a lot of the bands weren't singing about really hard-hitting issues, whereas like Crass and bands like that overseas, and Australian bands like Depression and Vicious Circle are singing about, you know, a lot more hard-hitting issues now than what they were in 77. It's sort of been I see punk rock or hardcore, or whatever you'd like to call it, as a sort of a progression onwards.